Peace, was good? Welcome to another hip hop album review. This is part 61. The album that we'll be reviewing today is Big Pun's Endangered Species, released in 2001. For those who don't know who Big Pun is, Big Pun's an MC from the Bronx, New York. He got his start back in the mid 90s, like around 94, 95. He got put on by Fat Joe. His first appearance on Wax was on Fat Joe's second album, Jealous One's Envy, on the song Watch Out. And that was his introduction, his first appearance on Wax. But at that time, people didn't really know who Big Pun was, unless you were in New York, like in an underground circuit and stuff like that. But he still didn't have a name for himself yet, you know what I mean? At the time, when he was coming up, he was known as Big Moondog and stuff like that. And Big Pun, he's known for his multi-syllable lyrical style and stuff like that. Kind of reminiscent of Coogee Rap, because he cites Coogee Rap as like his biggest inspiration in rapping and shit like that. And you can tell. Fast forward to 1997. What really got Big Pun noticed was on this Beatnut song, Off the Books, off the Stone Crazy album. That I did a review on that album too. It's a dope album, but because of that song is what really got Big Pun recognizing, and from then on, a lot of people wanted more from him. And then fast forward to 1998, he had released his first album, Capital Punishment. Classic album. I definitely recommend checking that album out if you don't have it. I don't have it, surprisingly. I know for a while I haven't been buying CDs and shit like that, and I don't know, I just never got around buying it, but I definitely gotta buy it and shit. Anyways, getting back to that. Like I said, dope album, classic, very gritty, shit like that. Very street. Has a couple of filler tracks, but most of it is more street and lyrical shit that we all like. And fast forward to 1999 or 2000 is when he released his second album, Yeah Baby. That album, I thought it was okay. I thought it could have been a little bit better. Big Pun, he said in interviews that he kind of wanted to go more of a lighter, kind of I don't want to say a more commercial route, but he kind of wanted, he went for a more commercial sound and stuff like that. Had a lot more fillers than Capital Punishment. But if you like Big Pun, you'll definitely enjoy that album. That album is known for songs like 100%, which was very big in New York. We So Hard and stuff like that. And then unfortunately, February 7, 2000 is when he passed away due to a heart attack and stuff like that, and that's due to his health. And then in 2001, Loud Records had released this album, Endangered Species. This album, it consists of songs that were featured on other people's other people's albums. Some from his Capital Punishment, some remixes, some unreleased songs and stuff like that. Open it up. This is what the album cover looks like. Open it up. See Big Pun. You see the first two albums, Capital Punishment, Yeah Baby. I did a review on Yeah Baby. Like I said, I thought it could have been a little bit better. Had a little bit too much fillers for my taste. This is what the CD looks like. Alright. Open it up. See the Big Pun Endangered Species logo. Pretty dope. Alright. You know how I get down, show you guys how the album looks like inside. See the album cover here. See Big Pun chilling in the block, you know what I mean? As you can see the credits. See Fat Joe and Big Pun together, just chilling. I'm telling you, when they were together, I wish they had made an album together. That's how ill they worked together. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, that never happened. You see Big Pun right here in the sumo wrestling type of, sumo wrestle. He's a sumo wrestler. You know what I mean? As you can see here, album credits. See Big Pun chilling right here, looking fresh. You know what I mean? See Big Pun chilling right behind his mural. And starting from here is when you start seeing all the the lyrics for all the songs and stuff like that. See Big Pun chilling with Cuban Link, very dope artist, very underrated. Cuban Link, please if you can re-release 24K, please if you can. I think that has something to do with him and Fat Joe. Yeah, Cuban Link and Fat Joe hadn't fallen out with that album not being able to come out. I don't know, some shit like that. Um, that's when it was making dope music. You know what I mean? But that you can see here, you know, see like a little kind of like a, I guess like a, look a brief description of both all three albums and stuff like that. You see Big Pun, that's a dope picture right there. You know what I mean? And before I start the review, I want to say happy birthday to my dude Rob Regis. It's his birthday today, February 7th. So I thought that was pretty dope. You know what I mean? Like him and him sharing Big Pun's anniversary and shit like that. I thought that was pretty pretty interesting. All right. I get down and break down some of the tracks, stuff like that. The first song is the intro, nothing to it, just the intro, just introduction, whatever. Second song, You Ain't a Killer, dope song. That was actually the first song I ever heard from Big Pun. That song is actually on the Capital Punishment album. Definitely a dope song. That song, I believe it was a single, but it was like an underground single, you know what I mean? They didn't have a video for it. I wish they had a video for that. That would have been dope. But it's definitely one of Big Pun's most standout tracks, because when you hear that song, like, when you hear the beat, you automatically think of Big Pun. Track 3, Twins, Deep Cover 98, featuring Fat Joe. Dope song. They did a cover song of Deep Cover, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg's song. They did that song justice. It's to the point where I kind of like Big Pun's version a little bit more than the Dr. Dre. That's nothing to take away from Dr. Dre's version, but I kind of feel like they did this song justice. And the video is dope. I mean, Big Pun, he does his thing. Yo, whoo, man, I can listen to that shit right now. Track 4, What You Gonna Do. That was featured on Terror Squad's first album, the album released in 1999. Very dope album, very underrated. I definitely recommend you guys checking the album out. If you guys like Capital Punishment, then you would like that album. Put it like that. It's pretty dope. I recommend checking that out. Track 5, How We Roll, featuring Ashanti, which was a single off this album. They have a video for it. It's pretty dope. This is actually Ashanti's her introduction to the world, because before that, people didn't know who Ashanti was. So, she does the chorus and stuff like that. There's a video for it. It's like an animated 3D type of video. Like I said, this was released back in 2001. So, obviously, this was made when he died. Not the song itself, but the video and stuff like that. So that's why they had to do the whole 3D animation video. It's a dope song. I like it. Still Not a Player, featuring Joe. That was released, I believe, on the Capital Punishment album, if I'm not mistaken. That's a pretty dope song. Nice video to it. You see him in like kind of like a lounge and shit like that, and they just doing their thing. I like that a lot. Off the Books, track 7, featuring the Beatnuts, Big Pun and Cuban Link. Like I said, that was featured on Beatnuts' third album, or their second full-length album, Stone Crazy, another dope album, very underrated. Like I said, this was Big Pun's introduction to the world, even though that what really got him noticed. You know what I mean? Track 8, Words from N.O.R.E, just N.O.R E giving his his thoughts about Big Pun and stuff like that, stuff like that. Banned from TV, featuring Noriega, Big Pun, Jadakiss, Styles P of L.E.S, Nature and Cameron. Dope song. That's a classic song. I definitely recommend you guys checking that song out. I believe that was on N.O.R.E's first album, the N.O.R.E album, or Niggas on the Run Eatin'. That's the acronym. That's what it stands for. Classic song. I remember that song being played a lot back in I believe in the summer of '98. I remember when that song first came out, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty dope song. Definitely a club banger. But when club bangers were club bangers, not this shit that you hear now, where like hardcore hip hop tracks could be played in clubs and shit like that. And you can still dance to it, you know what I mean? But they don't make shit like that no more, unfortunately. And that's when N.O.R.E was actually good, you know what I mean? But whatever. Mama featuring Tony Sunshine. That's a pretty dope song. It's just like a dedication song to his mom and shit like that. Um, that song is actually an unreleased song. It's produced by Alchemist. Never heard it before until this. Was never heard until this. It was appeared on this album. It's a pretty dope song. Track 11, the beatbox. It's just just Big Punch is doing a beatbox session and shit like that. Pretty dope. Brave in the Heart featuring Big Pun and Terror Squad. I fucking love that song. I believe that was a single, but like I say, it was like more of an underground single. Should have been, to me, they should have had a video for that. That song is so ill. I really like that song a lot. Matter of fact, when I'm done, like I'll put all the songs in the description box. Not all of them, just some of them and stuff like that. Pretty dope. Brave in the Heart, that's my shit right there. Track 13, The Dream Shatterer, the original version. This is the Buck Wild version. This was unreleased until this is the one that didn't appear on the Capital Punishment version. The one you heard is the one produced by Domingo. That's the remix version, I should say. But definitely a dope song. I would check it out. Me personally, I kind of like the Buck. I'm used to the Domingo version better. I don't know. I like that a lot better. It kind of fits the album, but it is what it is. But the original version is dope. Track 14, Words for Fat Joe. Just Fat Joe's just bigging up Big Pun and stuff like that. John Blaze featuring Fat Joe, Big Pun, Nas, Raekwon, and Jadakiss. Classic song. That was actually featured on Fat Joe's third album, Don Cartagena. Very underrated album. I need to get that album. That album is very hard to come by, at least where I live at, because if I'm not mistaken, that album was actually out of print, so I definitely need a copy of that album, because that shit is tough. They all do their thing. Nas, he does his shit. Raekwon. I mean, I believe there's a video for that too. If I find a video, I'll post a link down in the description box. Track 16, My World. I don't know if this was released. Hold on. I don't know if this was on. Let me see. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, yeah. That song, My World, is actually unreleased. It's an unreleased song. So, My World is a pretty dope song. I like it a lot. Pina Colada. Rough Riders featuring Big Pun and Chic. It's a pretty dope song. It has like a nice club feel to it. That was actually featured on Rough Riders' first album, Volume 1, Ride or Die. Dope album. I definitely recommend you guys checking that shit out. Track 18, Top of the World, Brandy featuring Big Pun and Fat Joe. Pretty dope song. I think that song was actually featured on her second album. Forgot the name of that shit. Let me see. Give me 1 second, guys. No, I'm sorry. It was featured on the Have You Ever 12-inch. That's where it was from. It's a pretty dope song. I could see that being like a single or something like that. It's pretty dope. Track 19, Living La Vida Loca. The Ricky Martin song. Very, very popular song, especially back in the late 90s. But it's the remix version. It's with Ricky Martin, Big Pun, Fat Joe, and Cuban Link. It was pretty dope. I really like that a lot. Track 20, Firewater featuring Fat Joe featuring Big Pun, Armageddon, and Raekwon. Firewater is a dope song. That song is actually featured on It came out in '96. That was actually the B-side to Envy. The Envy single that came out, the one that he that song Envy was actually a single. It was actually the one that used the Marvin Gaye sample, the Sexual Healing sample. Is Firewood was actually the B-side. I wish that had a video for it, cause that shit was actually pretty dope. They all do their thing on that song. Armageddon does his thing, very underrated MC. Big Pun, he does his thing. Fat Joe, they all do their thing. Track 21, classic verses. It's just Fat Joe doing some of his illest lyrics on like two instrumentals, and the instrumentals are Drop It Heavy, which was a Showbiz and AG song. I think was featured on their third album, Full Scale. Correct me if I'm wrong with that, but he's rapping over the instrumental version of that shit. And Fantastic Four, which was featured on what was it? DJ Clue's Professional, the first one. It's just, he just like, took the songs from what he did from those two songs and just mixed it into one, you know what I mean, to one song. I thought it was pretty dope. Track 22, freestyle with Remy Martin. Remy Martin, yo, she's so underrated. Hold Your Head Up. I hope when you get out, you fucking put these female MCs to shame, because the ones that's out right now, they're pretty much garbage. That's excluding the classic, the legends, Heather B, Bahamadia, MC Light, Roxanne Shante, all the legends, all the female legends. I salute you, but I'm not gonna name names because I'm not the type of dude to do that. You know what I mean? You guys shouldn't have an idea who I'm talking about. Track 23, Wishful Thinking, featuring Fat Joe, Big Pun, Coogee Rap, and B Real, Cypress Hill. Dope ass song. I really like that song a lot. They all do their thing. It sounds like something that could have been on Capital Punishment. Let's see if it was. I don't think it was, but give me 1 second. Capital Punishment. That was actually an unreleased song, but that song could have been. It should have been on Capital Punishment. I could see that being on that album. That's track 23, and the last song, How We Roll, 98, is the original version of How We Roll. This is the one without Ashanti. Again, another song that could have been a Capital Punishment, but I think it's due to sample clearances is probably why it wasn't released on the album. I kind of like How We Roll 98 a little bit better than the video version or the single, but the single version is dope. But How We Roll 98, I feel like it was a little bit better. In my opinion, it's a little bit more gritty. It uses it uses a famous 80s sample. I'm not gonna name drop it. You guys, if you hear it, you guys should know what it is. But that's it. I just want to say rest in peace to Big Pun, to his family, the Rios family. Shout out to his son. I hope he does his thing. He carries his father's torch. You know what I mean? That's big shoes to fill in, man. Like, I wish you much luck. Shout out to Fat Joe. Shout out to the whole DITC crew. Shout out to the whole Terror Squad. And that's it. Shout out to the whole Bronx. You know what I mean? And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed that review. Stay tuned for more beat videos, reviews, rants, all that good shit. Alright? Peace.